Hello friends, I wanted to tell you a real quick way to support True Reporting with our new sponsor, Virtual Shield VPN. I use Virtual Shield VPN for every podcast and every day on my computer because I am very paranoid about people getting onto my computer and stealing my information and my work that I've done for you guys. So I wanted to show you how Virtual Shield VPN works and why you should use it. So as you can see, my IP address ends in 1914. I can come over here to Virtual Shield VPN and click connect. I use this every single day just because, again, I am paranoid about people coming on to my computer and stealing my information. So I give it some time and I wait for it to connect. It connects. I come back over here to my IP address ending in 1914. I hit refresh. And there you see, it is changed to 30.2. My friends, you all know that I reside in South Carolina. The Virtual Shield VPN tells all the hackers out there that I am in Atlanta, Georgia. I am completely safe and hidden from anyone trying to steal my information. I suggest, my friends, signing up for Virtual Shield VPN for the month of March. You will receive a 30% discount and a 30% free trial. Why not do it, my friends? So go ahead and sign up for Virtual Shield VPN, the best way to support True Reporting. Thank you. Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 28th of March, and on today's podcast, we will be going over two articles that I found to be very interesting. The first article will be entitled, Top FBI Child Trafficking and Child Prostitution Task Force Chief Helped Chicago PD Investigate Smollett Hoax. Did Jussie Smollett rat out Hollywood? This is huge news coming out of True Pundit, and we're definitely going to get into that. The second article of the night is a bombshell lawsuit claims FBI knowingly hid evidence from Congress of explosive used on 9/11. Unbelievable news coming out of these articles, my friends. But before we get into either one of these, would you please go ahead and click the bell to get notifications so when I post to this channel, you'll be the first to know. Also, please follow me on Twitter. We just hit a huge number of 10,000 followers, so follow me at True Reporting, and don't forget to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's expose the darkness together. This is True Reporting. So as you can see, my friends, this is huge coming against Jussie Smollett. It says here, internal Chicago police records show detectives employed a top FBI supervisory special agent specializing in investigating the trafficking of sexually exploited children, child prostitution, and aggravated child sexual abuse to help investigate the Smollett assault hoax case. Very strange. We knew once all the charges were dropped, we knew something more was to come. During early stages of the investigation, records show, Chicago police shared intel with the FBI, and FBI Special Agent Gregory Wing was working the investigation daily alongside city detectives. It says here, but Wing supervises the child sex crimes and violent crimes against children in the squad of the FBI Chicago field office and is considered one of the top agents investigating child sex trafficking in the country, according to the FBI. What is one of FBI's premier child sex crimes and child sex trafficking investigators working on an assault case? Wing and his FBI task force track down high-profile pedophiles and pimps. He doesn't intervene with local assault cases. Very strange, right? Are they about to expose Hollywood even furthermore? One internal Chicago PD document from the Smollett case states, in quote, per request of FBI Special Agent Greg Wing, the forwarded a copy of the search warrant number, big number, which was issued pertaining to the Apple Incorporated held iCloud account controlled by Jussie Smollett to FBI analyst Morelia Lopez via email. They received an email reply indicating receipt of this document. The question is why Wing working as an assault case with the Chicago police. Why is he doing this, guys? And what did one of the FBI's top sex crime investigators want with the subpoena of Smollett's phone records? Or Smollett's phone's records? It says here, perhaps it's developed into something larger than an assault or hoax case, one FBI insider hypothesized. He's there for a reason, and he is reporting back to the Bureau for sure. These new revelations also mean that the FBI has been involved in the Smollett case for months, a fact that was not publicized, likely intentionally. From the Chicago PD case file, it says here, Jussie Smollett made false reports to the police, claiming to be a victim of an aggravated battery undermined motive. Investigation. Per request of the FBI Special Agent Greg Wing, and the RD forwarded a copy of the search warrant number 196W5223, which was issued pertaining to the Apple Incorporated held iCloud account controlled by Jussie Smollett to the FBI analyst Morelia Lopez via email. So this is huge, guys. The FBI and Chicago police, they say, however, are not commenting on what the FBI's child sex crime unit is doing involved in the Smollett case. The Chicago police records of the case mention Wing and his cooperation in several documents, including helping detectives coordinate logistics and working the daily tenets of the investigation. Much of the file, however, is redacted. President Trump said Thursday that the FBI and Justice Department should and perhaps would examine the Smollett investigation days after 16 felony charges against Smollett were mysteriously dropped. And he even said this tonight in the Michigan rally, that this is far from over, my friends. From Randy Bartnett tweeting out, none of this is normal, even for Crook County where I was an assistant state's attorney. Educated guess. This hoax implicated someone very important who had pull with the state's attorney and who very badly did not want to be implicated. And we all know who is from Chicago. Well, who resides there is the Obamas, right? So it says here from Terry Moran, Cook County Clerk's office tells ABC they were shocked that no written motions were filed within the court in connection with today's surprising dismissal in the Smollett's case. On top of that, the case has been wiped off their database as if it never existed. But FBI insiders said Smollett could be cooperating in a much larger probe and may have offered intelligence that was too good to pass up, as one insider said. I will repeat this sentence. This is very huge. But FBI insiders said Smollett could be cooperating in a much larger probe and may have offered intelligence that was too good to pass up. Did Smollett rat out Hollywood? And is this why the FBI's top agents and squads investigating child sex crimes were called to intervene? Here in this video of Wing explaining what his child trafficking task force does. And I'm sure we're all well aware of what child sex trafficking task force do. The FBI's Violent Crimes Against Children Task Force enhances the effectiveness of federal, state, and local law enforcement resources through a well-coordinated initiative seeking the most effective investigative, prosecutive avenues by which to convict and incarcerate dangerous offenders. The primary mission of the task force is to identify, investigate, and pursue the successful prosecution of individuals and groups responsible for crimes against children. This includes trafficking and sexually exploited children, child prostitution, aggravated child sex abuse, online child sexual exploitation, and child sex tourism in the Philippines. This story is developing. Thomas Paine. Absolutely crazy. And how often do we hear about child sex trafficking and child sex crimes, pedophilia all throughout Hollywood? Is Jussie Smollett, is this case going to blow up into something furthermore, into a larger probe within Hollywood? My guesses are he's trying to save his ass and he's going to throw people under the bus. Next article that I wanted to share with you. This is huge, my friends. This came out yesterday. Bombshell lawsuits claim FBI knowingly hid evidence from Congress of explosives used on 9/11. Oh my gracious. In yet another major move from the great folks over at the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry, architects and engineers for the 9/11 Truth, and 9/11 victim family members, Robert McIlvaine and Barbara Krukowski, a joint federal lawsuit has been filed to assess any evidence the FBI may have known about that contributed to the destruction of the towers on 9/11, which they may have kept from Congress. The complaint cites that the failure of the FBI and its 9/11 Review Commission to assess key 9/11 related evidences that the FBI can be shown to have had or been aware of regarding, huge right here, the use of pre-placed explosives to destroy World Trade Center buildings 1, 2, and 7, the arrest and investigation of high-fivers observed photographing and celebrating the attacks on the World Trade Center on 9/11. Terrorists financing related the reported Saudi support for the 9/11 hijackers, recovered plane parts including serial numbers from all 3 crash locations, video from cameras mounted inside and outside the Pentagon, and cell phone communications from passengers aboard the airplanes. According to the press release on Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, this is evidence relevant to the 9/11 Review Commissions and the FBI compliance with the mandate from Congress, which should have been assessed by the FBI and the 9/11 Review Commissions and reported to Congress. The complaint also cites the destruction by the FBI of evidence related to the high-fivers. Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth has joined in bringing the accounts that involve the evidence of the World Trade Center's explosive demolition and evidence related to the high-fivers, while the other plaintiffs are party to all counts. As TFTB previously reported, a monumental step forward in the relentless pursuit of 9/11 truth took place last December when a United States attorney agreed to comply with federal law requiring submission to a special grand jury, and I have covered this in other podcasts, of evidence that explosives were used to bring down the World Trade Centers. Then, earlier this month, the group behind the submission, the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry, announced the filing of a petition supplement naming persons who may have information related to the use of said explosives. And my friends, who is from New York City? None other than our president, Donald Trump. He wants this information out. I guarantee you he knows what took place, and it's in due time, my friends, to be honest. According to the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, the 33-page document contains 15 different categories of persons who may have information material to the investigation, including contractors and security companies that had access to the World Trade Center towers before 9/11. Persons and entities who benefited financially from the World Trade Center demolitions, and persons arrested after being observed celebrating the World Trade Center attacks. A names redacted version of the petition supplement, which was filed with the U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York, there's that term again, Southern District of New York, on February 14, 2019, has been made available to the public. The unredacted versions filed with the U.S. Attorney today will remain undisclosed in the interest of maintaining the secrecy, security, and integrity of the grand jury proceedings. As TFTP reported in December, for the first time since 9/11, the federal government is taking steps to hear evidence that explosives may have been used to destroy the World Trade Centers. The Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry successfully submitted a petition to the federal government demanding that the U.S. Attorney present to a special grand jury extensive evidence of yet to be prosecuted federal crimes relating to the destruction of 3 World Trade Center towers on 9/11. World Trade Center 1, World Trade Center 2, and World Trade Center 7. After waiting months for the reply, the U.S. Attorney responded in a letter noting that they will comply with the law. We have received, in quote, and reviewed the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry submissions of April 10th and July 30th, 2018. We will comply with the provisions of the 18th U.S.C. 3332 as they relate to your submissions, end quote. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman stated. According to the petition, dozens of exhibits were presented as evidence that explosives were used to destroy all 3 World Trade Centers. The Lawyers Committee April 10th 52-page original petition was accompanied by 57 exhibits and presented extensive evidence that explosives were used to destroy 3 World Trade Center towers on 9/11. That evidence included independent scientific laboratory analysis of the World Trade Center dust samples showing the presence of high-tech explosives and or incendiaries. Numerous first-hand reports by first responders of seeing and hearing explosions at the World Trade Center on 9/11. Expert analysis of seismic evidence that explosives occurred at the World Trade Center on 9/11, both prior to the airplane impacts and prior to the building collapsing. And expert analysis and testimony by architects, engineers, and scientists, including that the rapid onset, symmetrical, near free fall acceleration collapse of these three World Trade Center high-rise buildings on 9/11 exhibited the key characteristics of controlled demolition. The July 30th amended petition included the same evidence but also addressed several additional federal crimes beyond the federal bombing crime addressed in the original petition. The Lawyers Committee concluded in the petitions that explosive and incendiary devices that had been pre-placed at the World Trade Center were detonated, causing the complete collapse of the World Trade Center, Twin Towers, and Building 7 on 9/11, and the resulting tragic loss of life. About 2,500 people died, I believe. And that the evidence permits no other conclusion as a matter of science, as a matter of logic, and as a matter of law. We know it happened, and it's going to come out, my friends. In quote, this petition supplement is intended to assist the special grand jury by providing a roadmap for a meaningful investigation into the yet-to-be-prosecuted 9/11 World Trade Center crimes that the Lawyers Committee has reported and documented in our petitions. Attorney David Meiswinkle, president of the Lawyers Committee Board of Directors, said, finally, after nearly 2 decades of ridicule, dismissal, and outright intolerance of information, contrary to the official story of what happened on 9/11, the public may finally learn the truth of what happened and who was behind it. If you'd like to help finance this lawsuit moving forward, you can donate to the group here and down here. I will post this link to this article in the description box below. My friends, huge news coming forward. I hope tonight you enjoyed the rally live stream from this channel. A lot of big things happening, my friends, within True Reporting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you found it informative, would you please go ahead and subscribe to this channel? You can follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. We just hit a big number of 10,000 followers. And please leave a like. My friends, you can donate to this channel by going to my PayPal or my Patreon in the description box below. Keeping this channel afloat. It would mean the world to me. I would greatly appreciate it. If you aren't financially able to do that, just leave a like, and I would greatly appreciate that too. My friends, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow's Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Many more podcasts coming from this channel. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless, and good night. Goodbye.